doing a radiator replacement on a 96 Ford F-150. It features the Triton 4.6 liter V8. We'll be removing this little beauty cover right here. We have a body panel retainer here. There's a body panel retainer here. There's one here, one here, one here, one up here. There's one on the radiator shroud. And there's another one over here on the radiator shroud. Lift it up to remove it. Can be done with one hand. Just like that. Alright, next you have your radiator retention bracket, your uppers. This is one. Oh, the other one's over here. That's going to allow you to pick this whole assembly up so the radiator can come out freely on both sides. Disconnect your upper radiator hose. Down along here. Try and shine a light here just one moment. Shine a light down here. Alright. Disconnect this reservoir hose, this little 1/2-inch hose right here. That comes off. Your upper transmission line comes off. There is an 8mm here for the fan shroud. Down below that is another transmission line. And then further down is your lower radiator hose. I'm going to be doing a flush in the process of this because, as you can see, this reservoir bottle is caked in sludge. I have a good feeling that the radiator itself is going to be clogged because the lower radiator hose down there, it was rock hard, full of rust. Alright, that's everything for this side. We'll come over here to the opposite side. There should be, right there, there's an 8mm bolt. That will allow you to pull the shroud out. But first you have to come over here and you may need a special tool to do this. You'll have to clamp down with a special tool or get some kind of pry bar in there to hold the bolts for the water pump pulley to break loose the clutch fan. Then that'll come out. You'll let the clutch fan rest inside the shroud, then you'll pull it out as all in one. Alright, to get to the point where you can remove the shroud and pull the fan, you need to undo your breather hose clamp here, disconnect your air intake sensor. You are going to disconnect the hose, loosen it up from the throttle body, pull all this off, just like that. You're going to pry this hose out. You're going to pry this little elbow off as well. I've already had all this apart, so it's going to be pretty easy. That. Okay. Come over there. Pull that off. Set it off to the side. In the process of doing all this, right here is the thermostat housing. There is a 10mm bolt right here. There's a 10mm bolt right over here. That'll allow you to pull the housing off. There is a 10mm bolt that goes to this bracket and that stud where my finger is. There's a 10mm bolt there. Since this has already had work done been done to it beforehand, for some reason this bracket it goes right out of the way. It should actually be able to stand up on its own a little bit instead of being pushed back like that. But it's a non-issue. So let me go ahead and get that part done, pull this hose off, and we'll move on to continuing this process, watching me remove this radiator. Be removing the reservoir bottle next. Got a bolt here. There's a bolt right up here. Then it lifts right up out. After you disconnect the lower radiator hose, coolant bottle hose. Try and pull it out real quick. Right here. You pull the air filter element housing off. It just pops right up. These two snap downs. Feeds into that big old hole right here. Just pick it up, lay it out of the way, so you can pull the reservoir bottle out. Just like that. One hand. I already have one of the transmission lines disconnected. That's going to get pushed back out of the way. The reservoir bottle's out of the way so that I can reach my next fitting right here where my finger's at. That's for the transmission line. 16 millimeter. Break that loose. I also now have access to get to the hose clamp so I can get the lower radiator hose off. Radiator is removed from this bolt hole here. It has a slide lock here on the bottom, slide lock here on the bottom, and then the top radiator bolt, shroud bolt on the passenger side. Make sure you drain your coolant. Lower radiator hose. Once the shroud is unbolted, you can pick it up and you slide it back as far back to the motor as you can get. You'll have to work one side at a time, getting it past the different ears of the shroud. And once you get it to about this point right here, it just lifts straight up out. You're not fighting anything else. You start getting plenty of clearance in this area. The trickier side is the opposite side over there, right where those AC lines go in there. You gotta wiggle it back and forth to get past that spot. Other than that little hiccup there, it comes right out without too much of a problem. So that is how you remove it. I hope you found it easy. Like and subscribe. Let me know if this helped you out with your repair for your 96 to 99, maybe even to a 2003 F150. Thank you all.